my story is deep. My elder sister invited me to Italy.
Okay.
So we went to what they call, like, some people who can help to bring you from Africa to Europe, for example.
Travel agents?
Travel agents. And they weren't the right travel agent. So I have to find myself in the hands of this so-called travel agent, which took me to France. So I was staying with them in France initially. I stayed there like 3 months without knowing that I was actually being held hostage. I started being curious in everything. And that was exactly one day I had this guy talking from the bathroom, asking my sister to give him 10,000 euros before he would free me.
Yeah. Hi guys, welcome back to Onlyfacts podcast. It's always lovely to see you guys again. I'm here today. It's a very sunny day in Berlin, so we're trying to chill as well while we're talking. But I'm here today with my wonderful co-host, Livingston, as always, and we have an amazing guest today as well. His name is Solomon. And he has a very, very interesting project he's working on that we want to basically talk to him about, because I found the project really fascinating and super interesting. And I think, we thought it would be a very delightful topic to share with you guys as well out there. So welcome, Solomon.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
I'm absolutely grateful to be here, because I also see you guys' program as very educating for us here in Berlin and maybe Europe at large. So I'm like, okay, thank you.
Yeah,
thank
thanks
you for
a lot.
having me.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. It's what we want to do. It's what we like to do. And I think, the most important thing is if our conversation, would be of help to even one person, then I think I would be absolutely excited on that as well. And I also that's why I think your project comes in. I think it's going to be very informative and exciting for people, not just in Berlin, not just in Germany, but also in Europe as well at large, and as well as also Nigeria, because of the partnership there as well in between. So I'll just let Livingston say something, and then we get back to you, and then we start up basically. Yeah.
Sure thing. I mean, at this point of life where the sun is shining, like all of it is raining onto us. I don't know. But the week has been very tidy for me. It has been really cool. I'm glad that we're having beautiful weather now. Everyone's planning vacations, and very glad to see you guys all the time over here.
Nice.
There is literally nothing much to say apart from beautiful weather.
Once again, thank you for having me.
Okay. So Solomon, please, tell us about yourself. Just before we go over to the project, so that our audience can get to know you as well. In between. So please tell us about you.
Sometimes people think that, telling anything about yourself is the easy part. But I know. That's exactly the
difficult part. I know, right?
Yeah. I will put it this way. Sometimes if they ask me, I will say that I'm Nigerian, but so many other times I will be like, I'm Italian. So,
I mean, you can be both.
But I happen to let people know that I'm both right now.
Yeah.
Italian, Nigerian. I was born in Nigeria actually, but I have to move to Italy when I was a teenager. So Nigeria brought me, but culturally, Italy grows me up. So,
yeah.
Exactly.
Hi, nice. So, and how long have you been in Berlin now, so far? Or in Germany as a whole?
I came here during the start of 2022. So
2022. Okay.
Let's say 2 years plus right now. But before then, I've been living here in Europe for almost 23 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Quite a long time.
Yeah.
So that means you spend most of the time in Italy.
Exactly.
Yes,
exactly.
yes, okay, yeah.
I did all my high school to university level, everything in Italy. So for me, coming to Berlin, apart from the fact that my project was among everything that brought me here, it was just like my first time deciding to move from Italy and then look for another horizon outside.
Yeah, another horizon. Yeah.
Was it all by yourself?
Of course.
Wow.
Sometimes you have to do some certain things by yourself.
Wow.
Amazing. So with myself. But let's put it this way. Actually, it's a my own is a very, very unique story.
Yeah.
I would like to put it as a unique story because I happen to come from a very traditional family in Nigeria. And I grew up like in a kind of very polygamous family.
Okay.
So I have never known anything about lacking. I mean, what do I mean by that? Socialization. Because all my life I've always been like, okay, I come from school and I go back to school. People are full everywhere. And the reason was because my grandfather, for example, he happened to be like the oldest in his community. And when myself, I was born, he gave me his name and he was like, okay, every time I have to be in his house. And his house is full of people. Because he actually kind of inherited 6 other wives after Biafran War.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's absolutely a very...
So this thing really exists? I mean, I've been hearing it in myths that someone can inherit or someone could...
because actually after Biafran War, he was able to inherit it because, you know, a lot of people used to know him. And he happened to be like a kind of a descendant of a very prominent name.
Okay.
Actually, my grandfather... his own father, where his chieftaincy title was taken away from him.
Okay.
During the colonial
during the colonial era, yeah.
But he had to regain it after like having to do what he have to do to the community, because in Nigeria sometimes your title you get it back. I mean, in that part of Nigeria, which is in the southeast, you have to do something that is like impressionable by the society, and then you get your title back. And this is how he gained his title back. And there's some female who wanted like to give their children a solid name. They have to come to him, and then this is how he inherited
more wives after the war. Fascinating story. I always love stories like this actually. I don't know, it gives me like some sort of Andrew the Lead, basically just hearing of story like this. That's amazing. So out of curiosity, you know, because also I want us to like, you know, have time to like dive deeper into your project. So like you said, the project is called Ach Triangle. So can you basically explain to our audience what that is, what you're doing, what has been like your step, throughout the years, and what your vision for this project going forward as well?
Yeah, the vision is just like how we started talking about this. Here in Europe, we all knew, especially we as diasporians, sometimes it's not something that I would say that is only in Italy, but it's something that is like more or less uniform in the whole part of Europe. Okay, what do I mean by this? In terms of professionalism, sometimes we as diasporans, we might have all it takes to work as professional here in Europe. But so many times, those chances that you have will not grant you the opportunity for the right job that you're supposed to do. And sometimes if you even try to work on it so that you become good or acceptable, then your your curriculum might also turn to become above what is necessarily required. I don't know if any of you it have happened, but sometimes you will send CV, for example, and they will say, okay, it's not enough. Your skills are not enough. But sometimes you will also send this another CV, and it will be like, okay, we can't pay somebody who is actually
at that experience level.
So this is Okay, I said this to say that the reason why I started working on Ach Triangle was that during my school years, I happened to come across some people who were like talking about this situation. So as a kid then, I was thinking ahead and I was thinking of, okay, what are you going to do when you come out of your school? So, and that was exactly when the Ach Triangle was born as a name. Because I was like, okay, that means if I can't find a work in Italy, maybe I can do something in Nigeria. And that was exactly when I first started thinking of opening my own project and company in Enugu. So right now we already have like a construction company that is called Pesac Construction Company in Enugu, where we take some works from Diaspora, and then we have people, some contractors who are there, who build for them. And we started doing this since I come here in Berlin. Because actually in Italy, I'm also registered as a freelance architect. But what I do there sometimes is mostly for me to find a place to stay for some diasporas as well. Ach Triangle per se is just a union of geometric forms. And how did I come up with that? I was like, okay, I am going to work on something that will be uniting people. So as a geometer, because I also happen to have diploma in geometry, I said, okay, let me start by uniting the perfect cycle and the most stable angle. And that's exactly where the name Ach Triangle came from.
And also as an architect as well. So I can see like your architectural, career and vision, put up to that, to those shapes as well.
Exactly.
So, and then to date, in which countries does Ach Triangle exist?
Today, we are lucky to have some approvals in these very three countries that I work with, which is Italy, Nigeria, and right now here also in Berlin. So let's say that's our influential nation, Italy, Nigeria, and Germany.
Amazing. So Solomon, I would like to go deep into the works of Ach Triangle and which kind of contracts or which kind of work or line of work have you been in with Ach Triangle, and how it has been able to help the community or the people that you work with at large?
Based on that aspect, I would like to put it this way. First of all, I started as Ach Triangle as my own personal profession. And what that means is exactly what I'm talking about now, representing myself professionally between these three influential nations. And what I do then was, as a freelance architect in Italy, I started basically by trying to help some foreigners who were finding it difficult in terms of finding home in Italy like this. So I use my personal opportunity, let me say, or privilege to get them some place to stay. But when I came up with the idea of creating a company in Nigeria, I do also have to get myself registered as an architect in Nigeria before they give me the certificate and so on and so forth. So after going through that one as well, I was like, okay, maybe this formation might result to become the actual name that I wanted to take, and that is the Ach Triangle. I was okay. Now I'm going to fight so hard to also get myself registered in Germany, because at the end of the day, Nigeria made who I am, meaning that I was born there. Italy raised me culturally, and now I am practicing my profession here in Berlin, in Germany. And it couldn't have been more perfect, and this is why I have to choose that name. And the actual thing that I want to use Ach Triangle to represent is based on free movement. We were talking about divides. And in today's world, if you look into the geopolitical arena, we see that the divide is absolutely at its highest point. We see what is going on. We also know this. And me, myself, I was like, okay, maybe it's absolutely important for us in one way or the other to start to create a kind of platform whereby we would start talking peace. Because how do we talk peace? We can talk peace by uniting people, professionals in terms of collaborating. Me, myself, I would like to see an Italian teenager or even adults who want to go to Nigeria to discover what is happening there. And if you participate with the Ach Triangle initiative, you can be able to go because you already have people there who will welcome you and maybe help you to move around the city.
Okay, so I think I get it now. So I'm just gonna say something, and then you let me know if I'm correct in this scenario, right? Or you can fill in the gap for me. So initially, Ach Triangle started, with you as an architect, basically. You were practicing architecture in Italy, and then of course you wanted to branch out into Nigeria as well, and then you got your architectural license in Nigeria as well, and you have a company there that is also doing projects there. So, but then what you are diversing into now is you saw from your experience that being an architect in Italy, also in Nigeria, and now in Germany, you saw some sort of way where you think you can bridge a sort of division that makes it difficult for professionals to practice in these different countries as well, right? And what you try to do now is to create a platform where people can have, can have this opportunity to do professional exchanges between these countries, or student exchanges between these countries as well, and be able to practice their various professions along these borders. So just let me know where I need more knowledge.
This is exactly an interesting question. Okay. Before I called my practice Ach Triangle. And then we ended up calling it Ach Triangle Initiative. And the initiative part of it came up through our team research, because we also have done research about this. And the research, I started conducting the research after I lost my parents in Italy.
Oh, so sorry to hear.
When I lost them, I have to inherit a house. And the house that I inherited was exactly the house where I grew up personally. But I'm already living here, practicing my works. And, the very first thing that will come to everybody's mind is, how can I sell this property? But my idea was that this very family who grew me up. In one way or the other, their voice also supposed to be heard, because when they were taking care of me, sending me to school, doing whatsoever they were doing, everything was private. And for me to keep memory for them, it's not only for me to just sell out the building. It might help, but selling the memory would be, would hurt my heart, because I just want their voice to live in that particular property. And this is why I decided that we have to do this research. And that research was, how can I transform that place to make it a kind of a guest house? Because both of my parents, they did like to welcome people from different parts of the world.
Some were those biological parents?
They weren't.
Oh.
Both of them were Italian.
Okay.
So, and all their wishes was, how can we have as more people to come here? But unfortunately, during the COVID, I lost my dad on a pancreatic cancer. And like 2 years ago, during the 2022, I also lost my mom. That one happened all of a sudden because I was called, and they told me that they took her to the hospital, and I have to rush back to Italy the next morning, and I couldn't hear from her no more. That was how everything ended. So my life that used to be between Germany and Italy have to reduce right now this way. So the research that I was talking about that we started is to we use the chance for the fact that we want to transform that building into like a kind of guest house place to welcome people from everywhere, because we also have intention to make it like a library. In fact, we call it Biblioteca in Campagna. And Biblioteca in Campagna is just to say in English, countryside library. So what we do there is when guests come there, they can bring book from their country of origin. They can keep it there. Maybe they can take another one that they see there. Just to make it like a home for all.
That's amazing.
That's exactly that's the idea.
That's really amazing.
And then here in Berlin, we started another research. And the research was that we came here, we first of all started to study on the multicultural aspects of Berlin. And also going down to the history of Berlin in terms of division and reconciliation. And this helped us also to think about Berlin as a kind of example for unity, which Ach Triangle is all about. And this was exactly when we started working on the project that we call the United Berlin, that we are trying to to propose for the city of Berlin. Exactly.
So Solomon, I have two questions in one, but my first question is where does this leave your parents in Nigeria? Because I'm wondering, you going to Italy now, initiating or trying to forge a life as a teenager must have been a harder job for you. And where does all this leave the parents in Nigeria? To start with that, and before we come back to Berlin and the movement of the Ach Triangle and its objectives and motions in all of this.
I started this answering this question by saying that my story is a little bit deep. My story is deep because as a kid, coming out from the family, as I told you about my grandfather, large family, children everywhere. I went to Italy when I was 13. And when I went to Italy, I used to have my elder sister who was already in Italy. So my elder sister invited me to Italy.
Okay.
So we went to what they call, like, some people who can help to bring you from Africa to Europe, for example.
Travel agents?
Travel agents. And they weren't the right travel agent. Because what happened, I'm talking about something that happened like 23 years ago right now. So I have to find myself in the hands of this so-called travel agent, which took me to France. So I was staying with them in France initially. I stayed there like 3 months without knowing that I was actually, being held hostage.
Oh my goodness.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, Solomon, let me get this straight, because this story is getting a bit tricky for me right here. So your parents handed you over to the travel agents in Nigeria.
Exactly.
Okay. So, and then the travel agents relocated you to France, where you had no knowledge that you were being taken as a hostage.
Exactly.
And then where does the invitation of your sister come in? Because if your sister was in Italy, I mean, you had to be flown to Italy, not in France.
Exactly. But just like I was saying, the travel agent made me to find I was starting then, so I didn't even know where I was going. So I just found myself in Europe, and I was like, okay, everywhere is Europe. So I was like waiting for my sister to come whenever she will come and pick me up, but she wasn't coming. But actually, I personally would realize that it was absolutely that I was in trouble. Just because there was a day that I was just trying to play basketball with one guy outside, and the guy was like, "No, you can't play. Who asked you to come outside to play?" So the way he just called me back, arranged something in my head. Then I started asking myself where I am. Why is my sister not coming to pick me up? And all these kind of things. So at the end of the day, personally, I would, I started like being curious in everything. And that was exactly one day I had this guy talking from the bathroom, asking my sister to give him 10,000 euros before he will free me.
Yeah.
So that was exactly when I was like, okay, so this is my
That
life.
might have been traumatizing, but are the parents still alive? Do you hear from them in Nigeria, or what is the relationship that you have?
My father, who was the very first person that didn't want me to go to Europe either. So I lost him. I never see him again. And I also lost my grandfather as well, who used to be my mentor.
Condolences to you.
For me, 23 years of living in Europe, take a lot of people away from my life. It is what it is.
Well, that is life, basically, Solomon. But coming back to the main goal as why we're here today, and that is the Ach Triangle. So we're trying to connect the dots and how you are helping is also, are there certain projects that you've partnered with? And I'll rephrase. So let's start with your team. How many people are in your team, and what are their professions, and what kind of work do they do before we come to the projects that you've partnered with?
In Nigeria, we are employing 4 direct people, but we have more than 10 indirect employers, people that we call to help us and do some work, but they don't have like a direct, contract to work with us. But in our studio, we have 4 employed people with direct contracts. And I also have because I have my younger brother as well, who is an architect. And then there is other 2 architects that who we are partnering with. So when we have more job, they know that they will come to our studio to work with us.
Okay.
So what kind of work do they exactly do?
Oh, we do some technical drawing. We draw the 3Ds, and then we use BIM to, to give you all the
Okay.
Price in terms of price, what you need to buy, the one you need to, plus and minuses.
Yeah. So basically, the architectural planning of the property or the building, basically.
Exactly. But sometimes we also help people to like buy property.
To buy property as well. Okay. But do you guys do the same here in Europe, or just like Nigeria is like your main market as it is right now?
It's not that Nigeria is the main market. We are using Nigeria as a kind of privilege to help diasporans who are living here. We take your work, we work with you here because we know that 70% of people who are building their house in Nigeria, for example, they will come back and they will be complaining that they save money to build a house in Africa.
Yeah. So basically what you do is people in diaspora basically that wants to build the property or buy a property in Nigeria.
Exactly.
Then you have them. Okay, I see.
Yeah. Because you are here, then we talk about your project.
Yes.
We design it how you yourself you want it, and you say, okay, I'm good with this project. Okay. If you are good with that project, if you want us to build it too, you just need to give us your location where you live, and then we contact those in Nigeria.
Okay, so is this like the main focus of Ach Triangle, or this is just like one aspect or one division within the Ach Triangle initiative?
Okay, let me just put it this way. It will be simpler. In Italy, we do all the basic thing that an architect is supposed to do. So you can call us in terms of urbanism. We can help you draw the master plan for the road and so on and so forth. In terms of project building, we can manage your project building. But in Italy today, we don't have that possibility to build a new house because everywhere is saturated right now. So we normally do the restoration. The old buildings, we can restore it again, give it back the old look. Meanwhile, in Nigeria, having this company that we created, we also seek like, for example, foreign investments because our certificate make it possible for people to invest in terms of mineral research, or also as a collaboration because if a studio here want to construct or build something in Nigeria, sometimes they need some studios in Nigeria to collaborate with. So we offer that kind of possibility as well. You can collaborate with our studio in Nigeria as a company here. Let me just give an example. Here, they have like all these multinational company that build bridges and so on and so forth. We have like Julius Berger in Nigeria, for example, which is a very big company. If in any case they want to build anything in Enugu State and they don't have any direct studio that they can work with, they can affiliate with our company and we give them all the instrument, or we become where they keep all the instrument that they use for their work as well.
Solomon, my next question is from being an architect or from architecture and networking as well. So it seems like you're doing this kind of work, and the networking, I think this is the hardest part actually. And so why Berlin? And how do you think this is going to work in Berlin or in Germany?
Okay, based on the historic parts that I was talking about, Berlin happened to be, for me, the basic of everything. If I'm trying to use Ach Triangle as a means to unite people, Berlin is the perfect place that I will start from. Because, just like I told you, I was born in 90. The wall of Berlin was fall down during the 90s. Today, we all know that the history of that wall was how to divide family, first of all, and then the way to unite people, the wall came down. So for us, Berlin is an example of unity in the whole world. I know that today there is no more Greta Thunberg talking about peace based on what is happening right now, but we want to use another way. In this other way, We want to use it as a kind of professional, cultural exchange. And through Ach Triangle, being the fact that we are valid in these three nations. So anybody who is working with us would have that direct opportunity to move around between these three nations. This is, first of all, what we are trying to achieve, which we have already achieved. Because personally, I told you that what I would like to use myself, to introduce myself with, is just like, I build bridges. It's not that physical bridge, but the visual bridge of communication between people, between two continents that's supposed to work together and not in division between each other. This is exactly what we're talking about. A nation or a state with this number of, foreigners and able to live together and work together and function together was the nicest place for us to also put our research on, because we are proposing or trying to propose to the city of Berlin, the United Berlin, because it also came from a history, because it's right here in Berlin where African nation was divided during the 1884. So being here, where African nation was divided, why can't we start from here as well to talk about the unity between Africa and Europe?
He chose Berlin due to its historical part and so on. So, like I said, and then how has this been for you? This journey from Nigeria now, Italy, but I want to base more on the Italy side to Germany as well. And how has it been for you establishing something that is known entirely new, but in a country where maybe it has a different language and needs you to have different approaches to get to its people and so on?
I will put it this way. There is no opportunity if opportunity is not being created. I had the privilege to study here in Europe. And if there is something that personally I would say that our people are not doing living in Europe, is sometimes we are not creating a project that we will ask our council to help us to build. But we would like usually to maybe say that where we live, they are not considering our quest or what we ask them to do for us. So in one way or the other, I think that what pushed me is that I know that if we can be able to provide a project whereby our people will be like, okay, we are also trying to put something in the economy of people who allowed us to live with them, maybe their government or whatsoever, or private partnership will say, okay, they have something that they want to also introduce to the city. So maybe we can help them out. But without projects, maybe you can't have that acceptance. But first of all, you have to produce something. So when I came here, I was like, okay, maybe we should come in terms of physicality and produce something. It doesn't mean that it's going to be, but if it happens, it's also good for us. Unity that is here.
So so from your perspective and from your research, basically, do you think this is something that would be embraced here in Germany or in Berlin? Given the bureaucracy, of like the German system and also the conservativeness of of like people here as well. So do you think this is like one project that you think people are going to embrace?
Personally, I think that when you are working for a project that is meant to unite people, it doesn't matter the outcome. But our project started from another initiative that is already in existence. And this initiative is called the Belt and Road Initiative. The Belt and Road Initiative is like a Chinese project for the entire world. And that project is to create infrastructure to unite people around the world. So our project is flowing along the same line, because if Chinese talk physical, maybe we can be the one to try to use the diplomatic way in sense of uniting people, trying to tell our story by using a geometric structure.
That's amazing. So, Solomon, I would thank you so far for what you've shared. I would like to go through this. So, how have you been able to use your experience in Italy in order to help you further forward this in Berlin?
Personally, my experience in Italy is wonderful. I have never, tried to be the direct person that will say, okay, maybe there is kind of racism and so on and so forth. I lived in an Italian family, so my relationship with every Italian was absolutely good. Because when you will be viewed as a stranger is when you don't have a nuclear family. I think this is what it is. It's not because I was beautiful and nobody wants. If you try, you're kind of going to have problems. Just like I said before, the very first time that I met the premier, which is Berlusconi, it was because my own father, for example, when they were organizing for his arrival, my father was one of the main persons that were there. So I was able to meet somebody like that man. And he actually happened to be the reason why I have to have dream, because he came to my side and he saw like a strange black boy sitting, and he was like, "Who are you?" And I was like, I was looking at him like this, and he was like, "Oh, okay, what do you want to be when you grow up?" And I was like, "I want to teach people. I want to teach people. I want Italian kids to go to Nigeria." And he was like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah." That was where my idea started. But at the end of the day, along the line, I also have to.
So how are you going to ensure that this really works and sticks in Berlin? What are the strategies that you've leveraged that it does not collapse?
Personally, we also, when we are doing something that you are not afraid of confronting yourself with the institution, for example, that's one of the major things. Because when the institution is there to control what you are doing, that means that you are also ready to show them that you didn't just come with ordinary drawing, but technically you walked into it. What do I mean by this, to answer your question? What I mean by this is that, okay, as for the fact that we have this very project 70 to 70 something percent finished right now, we are also engaging ourselves with some universities right now here in Berlin, of which we think that they also will help us to provide. It's something that I have done when I was in the university. I know that is doable. And they will provide some students who are going to help to review this very project and see if it have meaning to be proposed to the entire city. And then, this is how everything will start. And maybe from there, what we are talking about, the cultural movement will start from there. And we also have like affiliation with some universities in Nigeria right now. And in Italy, I have a lot of them. Just like I was saying before, the same project made me to get to know some people who is like even the Ghanaian president, actual Ghanaian president, John Mahama, as much as it also brought me closer to Arun Mote, who used to be the ex-World Bank vice, as much as through this very project as well, I have met some universities around here in Europe, including SAID Business School in Oxford.
Okay. So what should be the timeline for you to launch in Berlin?
Just like I was talking with the host, it's my first time trying to talk about this project directly, being like video or something of that nature. I'm not that kind of. I don't want to be in front line, but I have been in radio and some other places before here. What I want to do right now is, how can we be able to organize people who would like to take part of this project, and through that call, we can have whatsoever we need, because the project is there. We need partners and we need collaborations, and right now we are having it not only in institution, but we are also having some certain people who are interested in working with us as well.
Okay, Solomon, and throughout all of this, I can imagine that you must have had some good and bad experiences. So let's talk about maybe one of your best experience and one of your worst experience.
My best experience was the day that I met here in Berlin. The name is very, very, very difficult for me to pronounce, but she happened to be the first female parliamentary here in Germany. I met her in one occasion, and I discussed about this project with her, and she looked at me directly in my eyes and she was like, "This is the kind of project that you're supposed to be working for. It will help our people."
Okay. And the worst experience would be?
The worst experience that I have had, if I must say, is, when you are starting this kind of thing, you have a lot of worst experiences. So the worst experiences that I have got is not one, it's not two, it's not three. I have got a lot of it in Italy.
I can imagine.
And that doesn't mean that I didn't got as well a lot in Nigeria. So since 2+ years that I've been living here, I've been working myself up, trying to get myself approved here as an architect. It wasn't easy, and it's not going to be easy. But yeah, all those bad experiences is what will actually bring you up to get those things that you are looking for. And then when you have it, maybe other ones become, even the bad experience, we turn around to become good experience.
So that means you're already approved by now as an architect, in Berlin.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't be talking about this right here if I don't have the approval, because for me, the fundamental of Ach Triangle is Italy, Germany, and Nigeria. These are the nations that have influence in me personally, that I have a story to tell about. And then, if tomorrow honest, I have some friends who are from Senegal, for example, in Italy, who are telling me that they would like to launch Achtriangle in their own country, in Dakar. Maybe in future, if it will happen, I will be happy. But right now, we are trying to exist.
Yeah, and speaking of Germany as a country, you realize that it's a country that upholds its culture and language, and actually I would say its language is at the top or the forefront it always. What is your German level?
Okay, I can say that I have also worked here. So in these 2 years, I wasn't just sitting around. I do some works, and I have to meet with German people as well. So in one way or the other, I have to sometimes save myself, trying to speak some that I know. Yeah, I'm already in my A2.2 level, so I'm studying. I need my B1 right now, but I will tell you absolutely that I'll barely describe myself with the one that I know.
Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Understood.
Wow. It sounds like it's a roller coaster film. It's a roller coaster, definitely. It's not something very easy. And I believe there are a lot of challenges you might have encountered as well. But is there that one thing that you can mention that I know you mentioned earlier that there are a lot of struggles that you go through that at the end of the day strengthen you? But I'll still pose the same question back to you. Is there that one challenge that you think topples everything and it is something that you've been confronted with that you think, hey, this was really taking me?
Okay, I don't know, maybe I will put it this way. Maybe for the fact that I have jungled in Italian difficult bureaucracy system, and I have also jungled in Nigeria bribery and all these kind of things. Maybe that made it a little bit easier for me to accept the difficulties in German
from the
bureaucracy
perspective,
as well.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can't just go to Nigeria and come out from Italy. You already know that you're going to hit your head on the wall. So sometimes if you are approaching the wall, you will be like, let me keep my head straight,
Yeah, in terms of bureaucracy, has Germany or Italy, has Germany been the hardest in comparison to Italy and Nigeria?
What I found out here in Germany is that if you have all your papers right, you get what you want.
Okay.
Yeah, you get it.
That's amazing.
I wouldn't really say there's bureaucracy in Nigeria. It depends on you, basically.
Depends on the money.
It depends on you.
And in Nigeria, you have to put money on the table. On the same envelope, you put money there.
The larger your resources, the faster you get shit done. Wow. I would say so. But I'm not saying that's the standard. Of course, we have standard basically, right? So don't get me wrong. I'm just saying sometimes if you have like a lot of resources, so I'm not saying like you need to give a bribe, but the thing is, you're able to get people that deal on that on a daily basis and know the nooks and crannies and know the processes to follow. So you get these people that basically it's their job to like make it easy for you as well. So then you're able to pay and you're able to do that. But in Germany as well, usually everything you do mostly you do it yourself. Or
no, you can't just do it to yourself. To be sincere, the first time I came here, I have to look for a business advisor.
Oh, a business advisor. Okay. Yes. In those cases,
in Germany, I feel like you cannot skip the steps.
Exactly.
There are steps put in place, and you cannot go the other way around. It has to. Every step has to be followed, and they're very keen and cautious about their system, and I think that is why.
Some certain thing I have to draft to him to read because you try to read it by yourself.
It is German. Yeah, it is German, and German as a country has it has the formal and the informal part of it. So the formal way of writing is not the informal way of talking or the informal way of writing.
Exactly.
So that also plays a bigger role as well. So absolutely, I can imagine. But yeah, it has been really a pleasure, Solomon. Is there any?
No, so from my part, I don't have any more questions. Thanks a lot for coming. I think this has been very insightful, giving us from your professional standpoint as well, what you do. And also please from our audience as well, if you're looking for an architect for construction in Nigeria, in Italy, in Germany, Solomon is your guy, basically. And then I also like the initiative of basically bridging the cultural differences and the cultural exchange, between Europe and Nigeria as well. Because I think one of the biggest problems about, I wouldn't say problem, the thing about Nigeria is we're not tourism oriented. I would say for a larger part, because we focus on a lot of other things within our economy as well, and tourism isn't one of our main focus. If you compare to Ghana, for example, or South Africa, for example, that they will have a very huge tourism industry. So I think this initiative also help people to kind of explore and learn a bit about Nigeria by also going there, to do business, to do some sort of study, or just for cultural exchange as well. So I think it's also brilliant.
That you have mentioned right now, I have to put brackets on it, because actually I used to think this way in terms of tourism in Nigeria. But it blows my mind. This April, I went to Nigeria, and we were able to go to the radio to talk about this. And I will tell you that in the next, how can I say, 48 hours, I have to hide my phone. People were calling, people were sending messages, they want to participate, this, and I was like, who asked me to put my number on the radio when I was talking?
But what do they...
Because a lot of people wanted to participate on it. They wanted to get some more information. I just came like this to talk about the project, just like I'm doing right here. But people were absolutely wanting to understand what was going on, up to the fact that I have to come back to Italy before taking off the number to chill, because I need to come back again to talk about it. Maybe I made a mistake to talk about it that earlier.
Okay.
And the issue why I have to think about this was that when I was in university, I used to see some Ghanaian people come to do intercultural exchange and other peoples, but Nigeria were not coming.
No, I think it's generally brilliant initiative. And I hope it work out. We'll try as much as possible from our side as well to also push this as well. Because for me as a Nigerian, I think there's so much to explore basically, in that country. But just that it's, again, like I said, we're not so focused on other people. We're just more focused on ourselves and doing our thing, literally. But I think that's just my point. So I don't want to go too much deep into that conversation, because I wouldn't leave here. I like talking about how to improve Nigeria too much. So I don't want to go too deep.
Nigeria is a large country, bro. Nigeria is a large country, and they have 70% deficit. Maybe this one you check it as well. On buildings.
So what will be your last word? Now, what will be your last word before we go into Nigeria's? One last word to our audiences so that we could close this up.
Can you come again, please?
Sorry. So what will be your last word, or maybe one sentence or one last word so that we can close this up?
Okay. My last word is that if I must invite anybody, to explore this very project, I would first of all say that the reason why I'm working on this project is nothing else but to create an initiative to talk about peace. First of all, peace in the world, because today we are going through a lot, and that through a lot brings people suffering. And as we are sitting here today talking about this project, people are suffering. So we need this kind of bridge building project to see if we, in one way or the other, we can be able to help people who are in need.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. The Ach Triangle, it is for you, and it is spearheaded by Solomon himself. More will be coming on our Onlyfacts podcast, and more will be coming on our social media platforms. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and let us know in the comment section what you think. Onlyfacts we've been, and we wish you a lovely day.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Thank you.